Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Art of Learning Self-Love. I am Darla Williams, and I am here today to talk about self-love is the best love and self-care and the criticalness in life on learning the importance of self-care. Life is good, and it can be bad, and it can be indifferent at any given moment. But in every single one of those moments, what are we doing to honor ourselves? This is one of the most important facets when building ourselves. What can we do each day or each week or each month, whatever it is for you in your capacity of actually honoring yourself and showing to yourself the care? Self-honoring is one of the best parts that we can do. Most of us, though, have spent our lives looking outside of us for those answers, hoping for us to await that perfect relationship, for them to take us out and buy us those great gifts, and hoping someone can meet our needs. This is the general situation for each and every one of us. At some point in our life, we have been conditioned to believe that the answers reside outside of us. When in all actuality, we have to begin diving deeper into ourselves and finding out what it is that we really need. When we look at the fact that we may or may not know what we need, how can we expect somebody else to fulfill those needs if we don't know them? I can remember one time in my own personal relations where somebody actually came to me and said, I know that you say you want me to meet your needs, but I don't really know what they are. How do I meet your needs? Now, I was able to tell them because I had done a lot of work on myself. I said, well, because I give out encouragement every day, it drains my love tank on encouragement. So I need a lot of encouragement. I need that backing. I need somebody that comes in and refortifies what I'm pouring out in the day. So I need somebody who wants to lift me up and empower me and tell me that, yes, you are doing a great job. I do need those words because that tank gets empty for me when I'm giving it away. I also stated that I needed a good quality time, some time out on a drive to go look at some things and go take photos with me or do this or go to a movie or tend to little things so that we could have quality time. Now I was able to articulate what was necessary. And the reason that relationship years ago didn't work was because of the fact that he wasn't willing to do those things because he felt I was too confident and didn't need that. But it was a lack of ability to meet each other's needs. Now, was that a relationship that was bad? No, it just wasn't fulfilling the needs that I had. So, because I recognized that, instead of holding someone else to do something that they were not capable of doing, because it wasn't in who they were, I had to release the relationship but with a healthy way and move on to doing something different in life. We have to begin identifying ourselves. When we start with us, it allows us to know firsthand what it is that we want, which then in turn allows us to be able to give the information to others. And when others are blatantly not giving us what we need, we're able to go, well, maybe I'm just not meant for this, and able to actually move out and move on easier. It takes a lot of work and dedication to ourselves to make this happen, though. And I've been on this journey a long time. And I'm here so that others can learn how to do it. Self-care, self-love is really the best care and the best love. Our affirmation of the day. So if you want to write it down, this would be the time to go ahead and grab a notebook, and I can give you a
Okay.
second. If not, that's okay too.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna do that. Get my pen here. Okie dokie, I got it.
Okay. The affirmation of the day, which this is day 13 in the coursework. My heart is full of gratitude. And this is an affirmation that you can write 5 times for yourself. But I also want you to do like a little side note. Write at least 3 things that you're grateful for. Mine today are the ability to be creative, self-expressive. I am happy and grateful now that I can be self-expressive. Finding my voice was really important. And learning self-love and self-care, one of the most important things is learning where to find your voice and be able to speak your truth, regardless of what others are doing. Knowing who you are and be able to stand in it is where your true power resides within yourself. It's not from an outside source or how you can wield your own sword to get whatever you need. What it is about finding you so that you can stand within yourself and be able to truly express what is necessary, whether or not it's standing your ground, whether or not it's sharing words to encourage another, or if it is just being able to speak the truth of whatever your circumstance and situation is. I love your dragonfly on your shirt, Jane. I'm all about dragonflies.
Look at you. I know. Don't you love them? I do too. As a matter of fact, a friend of mine made this. Yeah.
Now, the next part is the assignment of the day. Today's assignment is to treat yourself. What does it mean to treat ourselves? You know, if you're in a position where maybe you've gone through some things and you don't have the finances, it means just doing something good for yourself. Maybe taking a nice soak in a tub. Maybe painting your own nails with the nail polish you already have in the closet. It could be literally taking yourself out and just laying outside at night looking at the stars. Treating ourselves doesn't always have to cost. For myself personally, one of the best things I can do is take a grand adventure, go take a drive and take photographs. It allows me to connect with the beauty around me. So it reminds me that I have that same beauty within my soul. Because what I'm seeing around me is what is the reflection of what I see within. So when I have to treat myself, I treat myself to really amazing places so that I can feel just as beautiful as what is surrounding me. That was how I began building myself many years ago, was taking myself out to go find things that were beautiful. And it started with little simple walks around my neighborhood and finding a pretty flower. Instead of plucking it and killing it, I'd take a photograph of it and enjoy it so that I didn't have to ruin its life. I could enjoy it on a photo. I'd make it my wallpaper on my phone so I could enjoy it every day. It started with me taking and finding little pathways and photographing the path because life is about the journey each and every day. And every day that journey takes its twists and its turns wherever it wants to go. We're never where we're not supposed to be. We're always on time every time. Even when it looks uncomfortable, we're always on time every time. So when we can get into that, we can actually shift the way that we feel about it. But it starts with learning how to treat ourselves first. Doing something nice for ourselves not only allows us to build ourselves, but it begins laying a foundation for those that come into our life, that they can see what it is that we need. So if you're about the bouquet of flowers and you're waiting for someone else to come in your life and buy you a bouquet of flowers, those flowers need to be on your table already. You need to be doing
Mhm.
it for yourself so that when somebody else walks into your life, they know that that's necessary because you're already doing it. If you require your hair to be done every month, then and you have that space of needing that physical look to be
Mhm.
with your nails done, your eyebrows taken care of, your hair frosted or highlighted or cut a specific way, and this is how you treat yourself, then those who come into your life are going to know that that's how they need to treat you too. We have to set the very example of what we need in our life. It's not about waiting for someone else to come in and do it. It's
Right.
about honoring ourselves first so that anybody that comes into our life will know how to honor us as well. Now, will some people make decisions that we don't understand? Yeah. And sometimes we will suffer consequences because of other people's actions that have nothing to do with us.
Mhm.
But when we fill ourselves first, we can understand that that's just not in alignment with what I need right now. And we are now fortified within ourselves in a way that we can remove ourselves and take ourselves into that unknown because we've now built what is necessary. We can actually stand and say, no, that's not acceptable to me. And this is why. Because when we do the inner work, we now develop what's necessary to actually be able to articulate what it is that we really need.
Mhm. Yeah.
Most of us have had a lot in life where we have neglected ourselves. Easily go out and help others because we've all been trained since little to go and do for another.
Mhm. It's
But how
true.
are we doing that for ourselves? So that's where I'm going to open up now, Jane. What are you doing for you, for your self love, or
Mhm.
you're treating yourself? How do you treat yourself?
Yeah, I treat myself in little ways. Even like a special bar of soap.
Right?
Honestly, yeah. That smells really good. Or yeah, I guess I tend to do that more often than not. And I look forward to something like that. You know, you you mentioned about going out and about and going and getting into nature and taking pictures. And I feel really compelled to start doing that because I can see the value in that. And I enjoy, pictures that you've taken, pictures that other people will take and post. And yeah, it feels necessary where it didn't feel necessary before. I was too busy like taking care of business, whatever that was in my life. And I would do other things. One of the other things I do as well is, and I guess this is my creative side, is I take a painting class once a week. And I enjoy giving that to myself.
See, that's awesome. Like I do a lot of that. Like I do little seed bead things. I make jewelry. I
Yeah.
wrap stones. I have lots of creative facets about myself, and that is another way. Those the paintings, those are mine. The
Yeah.
stuff like that. Those are things that I do as well for myself. Um,
Yeah.
investing in, sometimes it's going to see a movie, but I don't do that very often. I'm not a big video digital world person. I'm not about, oh, let me go entertain my mind and literally disconnect from my reality. I don't need to do that because I really like
Right.
my life. I really like me. But it took a long time for me to like me. So now I go, oh, let me just go find something creative to do. I write children's books as a hobby,
Right. Right.
and I write and illustrate them as a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I've just started the third book, so for myself, those are ways that I invest in me and take that self-care time. And some people would be like, oh, well, that's work, but it's not for me. It's something I would do just because it's fun for me.
Oh yeah,
I
I
just
get that.
happened to take that and was able to use that as a way that it became a financial opportunity as well.
Right.
That's what we want to do. That's the part of the shift when we're really lining ourselves up with life and doing what's absolutely important. We really do find that our passions and what we love to do should be those things that are generating and creating a revenue for us because of the fact that then we're just living our life and doing it with ease, effortlessly, and enjoying what we're doing. That's the importance of learning who you are. When you don't know who you are, you don't know what your passions are, and you don't know how to create that stream. We
Yeah, so
are
important, isn't it?
the ones who create those streams. Nobody else is going to come in and do it for us. That is one of the hardest lessons to learn in life. Now, I have a true patent way to help people to do that. And that is what the art of learning self love is all about. It's about custom creating the blueprint to who you are, who was written into your heart from the foundations of creation. We have a perfect plan that is deposited into the recesses of our own soul. It is the
Hmm.
perfect plan to everything we're supposed to do in life. But we have so many different circumstances that happen to us throughout our life and our walk that it separates us from the understanding of who we are. And it's our responsibility to come back to our truth so that we can live our life. That
Hmm.
is what this course is all about, bringing people back to themselves. It's not about doing it Darla's way. It's about Darla figured out a way that is really beneficial and that it helps the masses, not just one individual, but many, because this is custom created to learning you, not me telling you what to do, but learning about you so that you can
Hmm.
find who you truly are and what you really want out of life. So,
Right.
do you have any questions?
Hmm. No, no, I don't at all. It just, it's so, I just a comment, and that is, bringing that to top of mind, I think is so important. And having you as a teacher facilitator to bring all of us to what is important, because everything else falls away in life. And nothing is more important than developing who you are, appreciating it, and giving to yourself and understanding, kind of like you're saying, you're the only person, I'm the only person that can give to myself in a way that counts. And if I can't do that well, geez, I'm not going to be, where I'm not going to have much of a well to give to others, right?
Exactly.
So, and I think sometimes life can get in the way, and we don't always think, well, where am I at in the if I'm measuring my life, or if I'm really taking a look and taking stock, and where am I at? It's like, yeah, where are you at? Do you know how to feed yourself? And the most important way is to be in touch with your spirit. Um, so I that's what I love about sitting in this seat with you, is really getting in that space and saying, okay, let's take a look. Where are you at? So thanks for that.
Thank you for your contribution. I mean, really, truly, when it comes down to all of this, everyone says, oh, what's the secret? How do we make it? How do I manifest what I really want? The most unique part of each and every one of us is we have the ability to create a world full of our own imagination. When we begin by creating that world, it starts with identifying. So the first steps is identifying ourselves, what it is
Hmm.
that we want, what it is that we need, and how we can begin getting there. One of the first parts when I started all of this was I went back to a simple, basic concept because I'm a writer, because I'm an author. One of the first concepts to this was who, what, when, where, how, and why.
Hmm. Hmm.
I went back to something so basic and so simple. Well, who am I? Well, I didn't know who I was. I had to create that.
Mm.
Why am I that way? What do I really want? What parts of this is serving my highest good and what isn't? And the list goes on and on. And how do we get to each finite piece within ourselves
Hmm.
and actually begin uncovering the treasures that are hidden within us? I used to feel completely casted out, and it still happens day to day.
Right, right, of course.
Circumstances come in and knock me for a loop because it's
Yep,
just what happens.
right,
But I can always tune back into myself no matter what and say,
right.
okay, yeah, that happened. Yeah, I got in the feels over it. Yep, that sucked. But
Yep.
immediately I can stand back up and say, all right, yeah, no matter what is happening right now, that situation is outside of me because I'm so full from what I've taught myself, what I've learned about myself, that nobody can actually penetrate my being and make me think something different because I know
Right.
who I am. When we don't know who we are, it's like literally being tossed to the waves, to and fro, back and forth, here and there and everywhere. You never know. If you get put into a storm in life, you're going to feel like you're just being thrown back and forth on those waves of life when you don't know who you are. Because you're going to grapple onto everything around you. You're going to be looking for the ruins of that boat you just got kicked out of. But instead, when you know yourself, you're able to say, no, I do know me. And I know that I can take me and rearrange this situation and put myself in a different space and continue. I don't have to go backwards. I don't have to go reinvent myself because I already know who I am. Just because the outside world fell apart doesn't mean that I did. Yes, it's going to hurt. Yes, life can throw you some doozies. And when we have a loss, grief is going to come in and it's going to overwhelm you and it's going to be triggered by a million different things.
Right.
But you walk it and you honor it when it shows up. And you go, oh, here you are, grief. Here you are, my friend again. And what are you really? Oh, you're an overwhelming sense of love that has nowhere to go. So instead of giving it to where you want it to go, you turn it back inward and give it back to yourself. And you tell yourself, it's okay. I got you. You tell that inner child who's scared. You allow that divine feminine of yourself to stand up and begin creating new ideas. You allow the masculine of you to go forth and become the action doer part to go and get it done. Oh, so you need a new job, go get a job. You need income, go take care of it. Make whatever you make, do whatever you do, share it with the world. Don't be afraid because something else happened. Continue to be
Yeah.
yourself in every situation, because that is how you keep going. You have to find you.
You know, you said I wrote these two things down that I loved the picture that I got in my head that you put there. You said about if we are lost and feeling broken and we don't know ourselves, we find ourselves looking at the ruins of the broken pieces of the boat we were in. I really like that. And then you know, that part of us when we have our hurts and our losses, when we're feeling that, why not state really what it is? We're an overwhelming sense of love, even when we're lost, and just take that love and direct it inwards.
Give it back to ourselves. When we can't
Yeah.
have a place for it to go to, when the resource of where it was originally geared to go, when that disappears, what do you do with it? Most people are sitting there with this gaping feeling in their heart and their soul, and they're like in angst over it, and they're holding it, and it's sitting in their gut, and they're like, oh, I can't take it. Well, what do you do with that?
Right.
Pull that up. Let's set it out here in our hands and go, what is this? Oh
Right.
my gosh, it's my love. It's love for these things and these circumstances and these places that we're rejecting. The very love I was giving.
Right.
That's not my fault. That's not mine.
Right.
But what can I do now?
Yep.
Now I can honor it. Now I can say it's love. What do I want to do with that love? Well, heck, I want to give it back to me. I deserve that love. I'm important. That love is mine because it was rejected from another. Doesn't mean that it was rejected. It means that it just didn't have a landing point. So redirect it. It's yours to redirect to wherever you want it to go. And I choose to give it back to myself when it's rejected. Oh, well, heck, I'll go love myself all the way in every way because I'm worth loving, because I'm an amazing human being who deserves the love that I'm giving away.
Right. Right.
And I have to own that thought, though. I have to build that confidence. I have to create that space within myself, because most of us really don't have a good space of that in the beginning because we've been told we're less than. We've been told that we're not. We've been told that we are, I don't know how many children's stories out there we all got. We've all got a storyline that we can go back to and revisit, and the pain bodies that we could go climb back into a million times over. So what do we want to do with that? Let's replace that, uproot it, and actually give ourselves what we need. Balancing ourselves out, react, calibrating us and putting us back to health and wellness. We don't have to stay in those stories. That's all they are. What story do you want to create today? If you're the director of your own life and your own movie, of your own storyline, don't give the pen to somebody else. Sit down and write it for yourself because you're worth it.
Right. Right. Yep. Yeah, definitely. Love it. Love it.
Me too. I'm going to go ahead and hit the end. Thank you so much for being here, and blessings, love, and light.